Good morning from Paultons Park. It is Halloween here at Paultons Park. Easily the best family park we have in the UK. One of the cleanest, one of the best kept, one of the best looking, and definitely one of the most up and coming theme parks for the whole country. We're here today to experience Halloween. Well, I say that. We're actually here today to check out the new attractions. Although they're not open, obviously, they were delayed till 2021. I really want to have a look at Storm Chaser. I really want to see it up close, which is the real reason why we're here. However, it is Halloween. The Halloween event is still on. Obviously, the country is going to go back into lockdown very shortly. So this is actually, I think, the last day the park is open. We're going to check out the Halloween for you. We're going to check out the new around the new area that we can, you know, sort of see. I don't think we'll see anything testing today. The weather is not that nice, to be perfectly honest with you, but you never know your luck. I can see it through the trees. It looks stunning. You can see it from the car park. It does look absolutely amazing. Now, Paultons Park was supposed to open at Tornado Springs in 2020. We were supposed to come down for the opening of it. Obviously, with the ongoing pandemic, it was postponed. It's still not quite finished, to be fair, so that's one of the reasons why it's postponed. But it's been postponed till 2021. Looks like we'll get it in March next year rather than May this year, so it's not postponed like a whole year. And, you know, it just looks, from the pictures I've seen, it just looks absolutely fantastic, and it's something I think you've got to see with your eyes. Now, we're here in the Japanese gardens. I don't know how busy the park's going to be today, to be honest with you, but we'll try and take you on some rides as we can. You know, we want to look around the Lost Kingdom, love a bit of the Lost Kingdom, down to Magma and Cobra, which again, this is their last day of operating for the winter period. Assuming the country gets back up and running for December, Paultons will be open for Christmas with Peppa Pig World and a few other attractions as well. And then, yeah, we look forward then to the next year. Now, Paultons probably have the most open calendar of the year. They have good ride maintenance and you know, schedules on the website, so you can see what you're getting and when you're going to get it. And you know, they run pretty much all year except January. Obviously some closed days during the week, but they run all year. And yeah, this is the last full opening day, so we are looking to get on some rides and attractions before we go back into lockdown again for the rest of the year potentially. And then hopefully it will be back open for Christmas. But Japanese Gardens, they've been there a few years now. They just look brilliant. I mean, the details just brilliant. And I always say, you know, when you come, you can just expect the park to be clean and tidy. Always looks fantastic. Always looks fantastic. So yeah, stay with us. Stay with us. We're going to go and check out the new area. We're going to go and check out, you know, some of the old rides and attractions. We actually haven't been here for about 18 months. It's been quite a while since we've been here. We've noticed that this area is new since we last come. This sort of entrance area with the roundabouts. And of course, we're checking out Halloween. So we're right at the end of the tail of Halloween season. Stay with us. We got some things to do. There is a lovely side view of the Gurst coaster there, Cobra. Cobra was really their first major roller coaster they had here. They had the Stinger, which was now Caterpillar, and I think they used to have a old mine train sort of ride as well. But the first major coaster they had was Cobra, and I want to say in 2007. I haven't looked, but I think it was 2007. And what a great coaster it is. Now we're going to start over on this side of the park. The other side is going to be very busy because obviously it's home to Peppa Pig and Peppa Pig World. But also that is where Storm Chaser is, so we are going to make our way over there. But we want to do some rides first. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take you around here. We're going to take you on Edge. Edge is the Mega Disco, the Zamberla Mega Disco, which they've got here at the park. It was the first one to open in the UK, followed by Cobra at Chessington World of Adventures. And I can tell you now, and I say it every time we come here, that one moves a lot faster, a lot quicker. So we're going to take you on board there. We've bought the chest mount today. You can't hand sort of a camera on the rides, but you can chest mount. So we are going to take you on ride. We're going to take you on Edge while we're here. We're going to take you on Cobra there. And then, of course, over the back, we will take you on Magma as well, which is the park's drop tower. Another ride, coincidentally, that Chessington will be opening next year. Seems to sort of follow suit. So we're going to walk around now. We'll show you Edge. We'll get you some off-road footage of Edge, and we'll take you on, and we'll show you some more of Cobra as well, although this is actually quite a good view for Cobra, in fairness. It's not one I usually come across and get. And then we'll take you on Magna before heading over into the Lost Kingdom. which was the last big area to sort of singly open, although we've had a re-theme down with the Caterpillar. That was the last big area to open with 2 brand new coasters. But here's Cobra. This is, honestly, this is a lovely coaster. Really flies around the track. And it is funny as well, because as a Wild Mouse coaster, sort of, when you're on it, it's funny because the cars have a very similar feel to what Saw does. Just the way they sort of go around corners and things. And I know it sounds really, really odd because they're 2 completely different rides. But enthusiasts, back me up here. You can pretty much tell who makes this ride by riding it, by simply riding it. So let's take you around now. We're going to get on Edge, we're going to get on Cobra, we're going to do Magna, and then we're going to go over into the Lost Kingdom. Really is sort of the windy track after the tight turns. I know these sort of Wild Mouse coasters are really known for their tight turns. But it's just a little windy track underneath, and then the little bunny hops here. Really make the ride stand out. Hey, look at that. And that's a really good corner, that as well. Really, really good corner. And of course your bunny hop right the way into here, and this is a real head chopper as well. Real head chopper, that one. But the first stop is going to be Edge. That's where we're heading now. That's got about a 15-minute queue, Cobra. We'll join that one very shortly. Down the back here, Edge has never been the most popular ride, mainly due to its highest height restriction. I would imagine that the Cyclonator, the new ride for next year, the big gyro swing, is going to have a 1.2 meter height restriction. I'll be very shocked if it doesn't. Very shocked if it doesn't. But this thing flies, genuinely. This thing absolutely flies over this bump. Get a really good ride on it. Definitely the better of the 2 that we have in the UK. Let's take you on board. cracking ride on Edge we just had there. So we've just been around there. We've just done Edge, which is the Park San Bernardino Mega Disco ride. Really good ride, really good ride. It feels so much faster and it feels so much longer cycle than what you get at Chesington with Cobra. The only downside to that is the seat belts across the knees. I don't really understand the need of it, to be honest with you. It's quite painful, to be fair, but it's a brilliant ride, wouldn't swap it. And then of course Cobra, we said how unique Cobra is as sort of a ride in the UK, and it rides so well. It's so smooth, and it provides, you know, fun time thrills as well as sort of you know, sort of family fun and smiles. So yeah, it really does tick all the boxes for Paultons Park. Now here's Magma. This is our next ride. This felt like one of the real big themed projects outside of Peppa Pig World, one of the very sort of first, with Cobra and Edge opening as they were, and sort of the rest of the park, you know, not greatly themed at the time. This was really well themed, and it's sort of themed to, obviously, Volcano. I think it's pretty obvious to see that, with a little Jurassic twist as well, so you get kind of little Jurassic twist, which is quite coincidental now Lost Kingdom's open. This would actually be better in Lost Kingdom, I would say, with a very slight retheme than what it's got here. But it sets here really nicely. I think now if the park sort of look back, and they look back at Cobra and Edge, and maybe they are looking to do it in the future, I think we've said before as well, you know, theming those in line with the rest of the park. There are still a couple of rides I'm sure they'd love to do, but you know, with Lost Kingdom and the changes to Critter Creek, really, you know, highlighted the stinger, in honesty, and how good that is now, as well as Tornado Springs come in, and of course Peppa Pig World. Rides like this don't go amiss, and yeah, you know, areas like this with big rides would be a massive project for the park. Nice little bounce there on Magma, the drop tower. Of course the go-karts are open at the park, they are still open. I've always said this is dead space, but apparently the ground here is really soft, which is the reason why they've kept the go-karts. But to be fair, there is actually a queue for the go-karts, and as they're open, people are using them. So I guess at an extra cost, to be quite honest. It's obviously doing them well. But yeah, good ride on Magma. Great to finish this side. We'll definitely come back to that later. Whether or not we'll take you on board for a second ride, I'm not sure. But you know, it's just this is the thrill side of the park as we now head over to the Lost Kingdom with Velociraptor and Flight of the Pterosaur. Can't wait for that. I love Flight of the Pterosaur. I think Flight of the Pterosaur is one of the best family coasters we got in the UK. I really do. It's smooth, it's thrilling. Again, you know, they've got a real good balance here at Paultons, and I think once Storm Chaser opens next year, you'll find that they're really going to go up in the world. The wonderful Lost Kingdom. I love it in here, absolutely love it in here. Especially in the autumn as well, the leaves blowing everywhere. And it's Velociraptor. So this is the park's junior boomerang ride. It was the second junior boomerang to open in the UK behind Ben 10, which is now Accelerator at Drayton Manor. And yes, before anyone says, this is the third boomerang ride for Vekoma in the country because of Wipeout. However, Wipeout is a boomerang, this is a junior boomerang, with quite a lot of differences, to be honest with you. But this is one of two, and they're both different layouts as well, which is really actually good. It's nice to have a bit of variety in the UK. I would probably say that Ben 10 or Accelerator's layout is a little bit more, it's a little bit longer. I think it's definitely a bit longer, but actually I prefer the pacing of this one. I think the speed and pacing of this one is far better. Particularly as you sort of go around here and over the top here, it really does have a lot of power to come back round here. Now I would say on the way back it probably loses more power than what Accelerator does, but still a cracking ride. And up and over and back again. And this is our next stop. Now we were here for opening day of the Lost Kingdom, and it hasn't aged at all. It's still a really stunning looking area. And whilst I haven't added anything to it, it's actually quite a lot crammed in here. So the two coasters you've just seen us go on Velociraptor, that's the junior boomerang which the park have here. Yeah, really speeds over the. I love the forward part of it. It's really good. The airtime on kind of the hop over the station, absolutely adore. And then we'll be doing Flight of the Pterosaur very shortly. In terms of other rides here, you've obviously got the Dino Jeeps, which we're going to be taking you on as well. You've got the Boulder Dash over there, which we might have briefly saw in a couple of shots. And you also have the Temple Heights ride, which was previously at the park. That was located over there, and that was moved over here when it was all rethemed. So you had 4 new rides coming here, plus one other ride, plus plenty of attractions as well. There was loads that came in with this Lost Kingdom, but it's just stunning. The detail is just amazing. I know we said it so many times when we come to Paultons Park, but it actually has been 18. In fact, it might have even been now 18. It might have even. We didn't come at all last season, so it has been 2 years since we were last at Paultons Park. Unbelievably, 2 years since we were last here. And there are so many little changes. As we walk around, we'll show you some of the other little changes which we've seen, which include queue line boards, which includes digital information, new signage as well, some cracking new signage around. But first, we are going to hit Flight of the Pterosaur. a treat of the ride, Flight of the Pterosaur. An absolute treat of a ride. I really enjoy that ride. I think it's stunning. And I think as family coasters go as well, I mean, you're going to include Vampire in this. I still rate Vampire right up there. You know, the length, it's obviously more thrilling because of the size of it and perhaps what it was designed to do initially. But, you know, in terms of other family coasters, we don't have that. I wouldn't say we have that many that really stand out, particularly well themed. You know, on another day and another time, you maybe could have put 13 in this bracket, but certainly not as it stands now. You know, the park really went out to get these two new rides, and it was a massive investment for them outside of Peppa Pig World, and it's just worked. It looks gorgeous. I love the support beam, you know, one support beam and it sort of branches off. Actually reminds me a little bit of Cheetah Hunt. I know it sounds silly, but just the way it looks really adds to the impact. You know, there's no messy beams on the floor here. It's all sort of open and clear. It's all sort of done in the sky. And when it's flying around there, as it's a suspended one, this bit in particular just looks amazing, the way it crosses and kind of figure of eights around itself. Really good, really enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed that as well. We managed to get a back row on that one, no front row, but we did get you front row on Velociraptor, so can't take it all, people, can't take it all. We are going to go now on the Dino Safari, which is the little Jeep ride. Sure, it's not aimed at me, but I love it. I think the detail's good. It's got a lovely narrative, really great storyline, which you'll be able to see when we're on there, and a few of the interaction points as well. I expect to get sprayed by water at some point. That's just around the corner here. You can see as well through here that some of the partitions the park have put up in the queue lines. They've got some themed partitions for Lost Kingdom and Paultons Park as well between the queues to keep people safe. The distancing markers on the floor are little stickers. You'll just be able to see those in there. I may argue they're a little bit close when you've got a big family, but actually people here are really good at keeping their distance, so I don't have any complaints. Around the corner here is where we're going now. And it's time for the Dino Safari. Dinosaur Tour. I call it Dino Safari, I don't know why. I think it is Dinosaur Tour. I think you know which one I meant though.
G'day guys, how's it going? You guys ever been on a Dino Safari before? Well, sit back and prepare to be totally blown away. Quick, there to your right. That's a Maiasaura. Oh man, she's got a nest, look, with eggs in it. Whoa! Did you hear that? Crikey! That sounded mighty close. Okay, so I know I may come across as a fearless, intrepid explorer, but deep down, I'm a safety man. So please remain seated and keep your arms and legs in the car at all times. You're talking about safety. Here's my aeroplane. Good job I had my belt on. It was a bit of a bumpy landing. If you're quick, look to the right over the pond. Can you see it? That's a baryonyx, and it's just caught a fish. Check out the magical waterfall ahead. It is said that this spring has been running now since the Cretaceous period. That's about 100 million years ago in old money. This fine-looking dino is an iguanodon. Hello, kids. Give me some wave. Haha, that's our security guy. He takes pics of everyone and plants them on the wall in Outpost 12 for all to see. Now, this is a very special place. There's a couple of raptors who've decided to nest in this old disused tunnel. Look to the left in that recess. There's an egg. Oh. Wow, look ahead, guys. That baby raptor's just hatching. This is incredible. A rare treat for all of us. Oh, cute little fella, isn't he, eh? Check him out. Whoa, wasn't expecting that. Best get out of here. Ahead is an Albertosaurus. He originally lived in Canada over 70 million years ago. You'll note he's got a head full of sharp teeth, so probably resides near the top of the food chain. Now these fellas to the left are ornitholestes, or they're bird eaters. But these two look like they've had a bit of a fallout. So in the interest of my safety, and yours of course as well, I'm going to head us out of here, pronto. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, folks.
A well-detailed, well-themed dinosaur tour safari ride. You know, the trees are brilliant. They didn't wait for the trees to grow either. This was fairly well grown on day one, fairly well planted on day one.
Where's your buggy?
And of course over here you have Dinosaur Alive, which is a dinosaur encounter, which they do have out now. And you can get a close picture of that. Always been very popular at the park, always been popular, the Dinosaur Alive. And of course Temple Heights, which we mentioned earlier, that is actually closed for its annual maintenance. So again, if you go on the website, you can check annual maintenance and you can see what rides are going to be open for your visit. And they don't just close them at the end of the season, because really they're only closed in January, completely closed in January. Rides like this get maintained at different points because the Lost Kingdom is due to be open at Christmas. Obviously with us due to go back into a lockdown shortly, you know, they've got a little bit of extra time to do this, and Velociraptor closes at the end of the season as well and usually opens after the Christmas event. However, it would now coincide with a potential reopening, depending obviously on if and how we get locked down and what happens and how long it's for, potentially. Now we're going to take a little walk through the gardens and head over the other side of the park. And here we are down in Tornado Springs, or what will be Tornado Springs, because the Wave Runner, which is now Buffalo Falls, has indeed been rethemed and is open. And you know, it's got its new entrance as well. We'll show you that in a second. But here we go. This will be the entrance of Storm Chaser, which you see right here. And of course, there is Storm Chaser. I mean, the detail is staggering, like staggering. I wish I had a 15-minute queue, I really do. The detail's something else. So obviously this was supposed to open in 2020, hasn't opened in 2020 due to the pandemic. I believe it's nearly done. I'm pretty sure most of the ride testing is done. Certainly on the flat rides, I believe that's all done. And I know that if you're lucky, you can catch Storm Chaser testing. But I don't think we're going to be lucky today. I don't think we are going to be lucky. There's no sign of movement or anything, but there it is. There's Storm Chaser. You can just about see the cars in there as well, just in the building. But it just looks absolutely stunning. And even the side they've done on there, and that stretches right down to Trekking Tractors, which hasn't reopened. It probably could have reopened, to be honest, Trekking Tractors, but it actually seems to be the one they're still doing a lot of work on. But as you can see, you know, this has got all the entrances. And funnily enough, when we did the interview with them about cue boards as well, they did say they weren't planning to add cue boards to rides around the park, but obviously any new ones, you can see cue boards have been added. And we'll show you some of the new big cue boards they've got up as well, because they never had those at the park when we last come. As I said, it has been a couple of years. Somehow, it's been a couple of years. This is our closest park to home, like full-fledged theme park. And although it's not the cheapest to get into, you know, we were kind of waiting for Tornado Springs to open. It does add, obviously, at least 2 massive thrill rides, or certainly more thrilling rides to the mix. You know, right next to Peppa Pig World, where my children are getting a little bit older now. But, you know, as soon as it does open, we're highly considering a season ticket for here once everything's calmed down, because it's only going to go from better to better, isn't it? From, you know, it's not going to get any worse here by any means. And I just think the investments they make are stunning. But here is Tornado Springs. Now we will make another video. There'll be another video on the channel just highlighting Tornado Springs. We're going to try and get some different shots for you as we kind of go around. As I said, it's not open, we can't go in. But you know, we can definitely get a good look, get some photos and get a video up. And just see how much we can see. Are you looking forward to Tornado Springs? Let us know in the comments below. That's that done. That's that done. What we're going to do now is go and check out some of the Halloween bits. There's lots of Halloween theming around. I've never seen so many pumpkins, honestly. Never seen so many pumpkins kicking around as what I have in this park. So that's the next trick. Have a look at those. There are the people that we had the barn a couple of years ago when we came and had the walkthrough barn. It's a really nice walkthrough. They haven't got it this year. However, the characters that are in there are out and about and they are live actors talking to you. So we're going to head round now and have a look. I mean, obviously, we're not going to film too much in Peppa Pig World, but just to show you some of the detail. I mean, look at this, look. Hey, this looks really cool. And if you venture over there, you can see the mountains and mountains of pumpkins that make up Peppa Pig World. We're going to wrap up here in Peppa Pig World. You've got a massive pumpkin over there. I mean, that thing is lovely, and it's just lined and lines of pumpkins. You can see as far as the eye can see. Really well decorated. Looks really, really nice. But since we don't have the children's day, we're going to wrap it up in here and move somewhere else. So Gaz, we're just walking to the gardens now. Pumpkins, just pumpkins. Rows and rows and rows and rows of pumpkins. Just pumpkins everywhere. It's a real pumpkin adventure. It's so well detailed. The money they must have spent on it has been absolutely extreme. It really has. And we're going to take a walk through the beautiful gardens. We're not going to show you too much of the gardens, to be honest with you, but we're going to take a walk through the gardens before heading back into Critter Creek. And we're going to take you on the caterpillar ride. This is really nice. This is sort of hidden away in the woods here. It's just this little walkthrough. We put some cobwebs up, and I put some pumpkins in, and it already has like a spider's sort of web like there. We've got birds in the tree. It looks gorgeous. It's sort of hidden away in the woods. Look at that. Look at that. Had some smoke in here. It's a bit of a real little walkthrough. Here we are down in the lovely Critter Creek, and we've just been on the Caterpillar, which you've just seen us on the Caterpillar. Now, funnily enough, what you saw on the Caterpillar was actually us on the back row, but we weren't on the back row, sort of somewhere in the middle, reason being, because it's raining, the brakes aren't quite as effective when it rains, and the heavier the train is, the more chance it's got of overshooting station. So it is being restricted slightly. Now, funnily enough, when we were queuing and we were batched, it was raining quite hard. And then they come on and cleaned it, and then by the time we got on, it's kind of spitting. So I have opened a few more rows from for this train, which you'll see. But yeah, you know, this ride thrives, undoubtedly thrives on a heavy train. You know, when you're on the back row on this and you've got a full train, it is quite intense coming off this drop here, to be honest with you. It's really quite intense. The rest of the layout is obviously quite simple. This is, you know, one of the oldest rides at the park. Recently rethemed into the Critter Creek world, which we have here. And it's quite nice. We'll take you around and we'll show you. They've got a train, they've got a little walkthrough. We won't take you through the walkthrough today, but it did give a new lease of life to the old Caterpillar ride, which has been here for many, many moons. Many moons. Here it comes. It's coming around now. So you'll see they're not loading the back rows, but they are still loading quite a few rows on it. See see the Whippet Geps coming off of it. Quite a simple figure of 8 ride, this one, but really popular at the park. And here is the Critter Creek, lovely entrance here. So that used to be Wind in the Willows there, which is now a beastie burrow. You've got loads of insects and small animals in there. And then of course down to the train ride, which is on the left, which is for the children. And these really wacky sort of animals slash plants, which they have with the caterpillar there. The caterpillar was known as the Stinger back in the day. And got a nice reef theme with this area, and it does look a lot better here. I mean, the Wind in the Willows was a really boring walkthrough, to be perfectly honest with you. And it was quite a plain area, this, and just a few 3D models, as you can see here. Along with, you know, a new station roof and a reef theme to the train. Yeah, it looks a lot better. It looks a lot better down here in Critter Creek. And this is a great example of what they can do when they just re-theme an area, not necessarily put, you know, anything new in here. I know Wind in the Willows kind of went for the beastie burrow, which makes perfect sense for this area, as it is called Critter Creek. But you know, without spending millions and millions and millions on what we see behind us, then you know, this is the next best thing. This kind of thing is what I'd like to see done down at the Edge Cobra area. It's obviously a much larger scale, but yeah, really, really good, really, really good. So that was Caterpillar. That was back row, middle row, on Caterpillar. And as you can see here as well, the Halloween theming sort of continues. Halloween theming continues around the park. It's quite popular, these trucks. They've had these every single year. It just really does spice it up a bit. And obviously over there where we saw the pumpkin patches earlier, we've still got a few rides to do. We've got a few re-rides to do as well. I love these. I love the theming they do here for it. Absolutely love it. Absolutely adore it. Now then, one thing actually we did say earlier before we end this one is two things. Got lovely new signs. These new signs can be seen in various areas across the park. Very simple, just tell you which way to go. There's a few at the entrance on the new roundabouts, as I like to call them, which we'll see. And then of course we have new queue time boards. The park has never really had digital queue times. It was really introduced on the app. Now when you go up to the when you go onto a ride, you'll see in the operator booth that you know, there's a little tablet in there, and they can control this very simply from there. I don't really know how other parks do it. I've heard things about calling and, you know, updating and things. They can literally just go plus or minus and it updates the app and all the boards at the same time. So as we said, the new rides have a board on the outside of the ride, and the old rides don't have anything. Whether or not, again, they will choose eventually to add those over time, not really sure, to be honest with you. But it's a lovely touch, and there's plenty of those queue boards around. I mean, this whole area just looks stunning with Victorian Carousel, and this is obviously going to lead into Tornado Springs and the return of the Rio Grande train. Year late, but this is going to be worth it. I mean, yes, it has been raining, yes, it is wet, and yes, it is a bit windy, but even then, I am not feeling the raging river today. But I will say again, just before it closes for the winter season, look how clean it is. The water's just immaculate, the boats are immaculate, everything about it is just immaculate. Now then, one we are going to do is going to be the Sky Swings. While it's dry. So these are the first ones I ever saw with double seats. They weren't the first ones with double seats, but they were the first ones I saw with double seats, so that younger people can ride it. Most of these come in at a 1.2 metre height restriction. Looking at Lightwater Valleys, Chesington's, all coming at 1.2 metre height restriction, but this one comes in at 1 metre because you have special seat belts on the double seats. Now I know there are other double seated ones around, and there are ones around with lower height restrictions as well. But I mean, look at this. This is beautifully kept. Beautifully kept. And I believe if it's open, this will also be open for the Christmas event, so fingers crossed. Monsters Ball here, the Halloween show. We're not going to watch today. It's full of copyright music, in fairness, as well, which it's been doing a lot of damage to our vlogs over the last few months with various blocking and re-editing. But it is one for the younger ones. Certainly, I don't have the younger ones with me. I'm not even sure they want to watch it. I don't think they're young enough to watch it anymore. But it is a great show. It's a great interactive show for the little ones, and it is a well set up stage, beautifully set up for Halloween. And you can see one of the characters down the side there as the show's just finished, hopping off hopefully to somewhere dry. But yeah, make sure you check for show times when you come to Paultons Park, and that goes for anything, to be honest, whether it be Halloween, Christmas, or indeed whatever they have on during the year, because they do put on a good show. So these pumpkins were in the Halloween walkthrough last time we came, however without that here this time. They've got a nice little interactive set just out here by the Victorian Carousel. Always looks good here, always looks good here. Now it is getting quite late now, so it's going to get dark very shortly. We're going to get a couple of re-rides done, and that's it. That's Halloween at Paultons done. If you want to check out the Tornado Springs video, that will be on the channel. That takes a more in-depth look at what we've seen over on Tornado Springs. But until then, let's do some more riding. The Sky Swinger is looking good in the dark, and that was riding really good in the dark. Flight of the Pterosaur there, flying around at night. Honestly, it's not worth filming it. You can probably see the rain on the lens. It is absolutely tipping it down pretty much here at Paultons Park. And it is coming to an end. It is coming to an end. It is dark, as I said before. The GoPro does make it slightly lighter than what it is, but it is dark. We're gonna get a few final shots of this, and then we're done. Whilst we approach down here, these two like new roundabout things with the signs and the cube boards. I'm sure it's the first time I've seen this. It's definitely new within the last 18 months. I have a feeling they were doing it last time we were here. It really does open up the entrance area and kind of give it a, you know, a whole new feel. And of course, it's really well decorated as well for Halloween. Lots of pumpkins. Looking great, looking absolutely great, as to the main entrance part over here. Thank you for joining us here at Paultons Park for Halloween. It's been a wild time, it's flown by, but we got so much done. The park wasn't like rammed, didn't need to spend all day here, but we have spent pretty much till close. What a great day, what a great day. Paultons is home to some really unique rides, and some good rides at that. Although it is obviously aimed at younger families as a general rule, that is changing. That is changing very, very rapidly as well, particularly with Tornado Springs coming for next year. In terms of the Halloween event, it has been sized down very, very slightly due to the ongoing pandemic, so we haven't had the walkthrough this year. You know, we didn't catch the show, it's not really aimed at us, to be fair, but the decoration in the park is incredible, absolutely incredible. So really enjoyed all this around us, really enjoyed it. We've taken you on for some rides as well, which is the first time we've done that, and yeah, we've just had a great day, absolute great day. The rain is coming down, it's windy, everything's sort of you know, coming to a close now as we prepare for an imminent lockdown, or likely lockdown in the country. It's a shame, but it looks like Halloween season will get to finish. So from UK Theme Parks, thank you very much for joining us from Paultons Park. If you want to see the Tornado Springs video that we've done, that will already be on the channel, and I hope you enjoyed us taking you around there today in this video. But from Paultons Park, till next year, thanks for joining us.